People of Reddit, what do you miss about the COVID lockdown period? 1. Not feeling guilty for never leaving my home and all of the quality time my girlfriend and I spent together. 2. No commuting fuel costs. Basically a £300 a month pay raise. 3. The background noise is being switched off. No traffic. No planes in the sky. No horns blaring. Also the sense of community it brought with neighbors checking in on each other, and if anyone needed anything. 4. The wild animals exploring cities being all like, where'd the noisy apes go? OMG. Turkeys everywhere. Turkeys not everywhere. Is between Europe and Middle East. 5. Commuting, reduced to none. 100% WFH, and the occasional trips to the office taking 10 minutes instead of an hour. I do miss empty roads. My company had record years in 2020 and 21. So naturally we're being told to come back to the office. Geniuses. Same. They keep spouting the line you can't correlate our success with working from home, but fail to address that we were that successful while working from home, and that the default maybe shouldn't be working in the office. 6. Honestly, when it all started and we were all making bread and didn't really know what was going to happen, I hate to admit it, but it was kind of exciting. People slowed down and tried things. It was my favorite thing to come out of a shitty situation. Completely agree. 2021 part of the pandemic I found quite depressing, but in 2020, when everything was going crazy, it felt exciting. There was camaraderie, and everyone was trying new hobbies. 7. Not having a cold for 2 years. Yes, I've still managed to avoid getting COVID, but since returning to in-person work I've gotten just about every other cold under the sun. I haven't gone 2 solid weeks without a cough and a runny nose in the past 6 months. 8. The silence, especially in the first days when the lockdown started. The whole world around me got silent. No more cars, no machines in the distance, no airplanes flying above. Just sound of nature and a gentle breeze. I loved it. 9. The air smelt and felt so much more cleaner due to less traffic around where I live. Also it was so much quieter due to less people being around. 10. Everyone was just get what you can done. Finished university during COVID and last semester was like fuck it, I'm passing everybody on the final. We're all dying. Have a great summer. I also finished my degree during COVID, and gotta say I think that's what retirement will feel like for me. School was relatively easy and only had to be on Zoom like 1 to 2 times a week. Worked out at home with my roommates, started playing guitar, painting, reading again. I guess I just finally had time to enjoy my hobbies again. I miss it sometimes. I had a rough time with 2020 for a reason opposite to most. It gave me time to cook, pursue hobbies, and made me realign my priorities. It made me realize my life satisfaction doesn't come from working a job at all. I started therapy after things reopened because the return to more traditional work was like an anvil dropped on my newfound happiness. Overall, I realized how much I had lied to myself about the inherent value of hard work and about how if I didn't have work to motivate me, I wouldn't get anything done. None of that is true. 11. Having the excuse to not go anywhere. We lived in an introvert's world for a blissful year. I thrived so fucking hard. I truly hate the suffering and death the pandemic brought to people. I hated how much anxiety it brought extroverted people, like my partner, who get their energy from human interaction. But goddamn, I went full remote. There were no social pressures to go be somewhere. I actually dented my gaming and movie backlog, picked up some awesome hobbies, became repassionate about older hobbies. The list goes on. 12. It was the healthiest I've ever been. It was the wealthiest I've ever been. It was the happiest I've ever been. It was the most freedom I've ever enjoyed. It was much easier to do my job working from home. I saved a fortune on gas. I got ample sleep. I enjoyed hobbies and started new ones. My social life actually improved because, living in a duplex, my closest friends lived in the other unit and also worked from home, so we were free to hang out at will, never having to worry about or be disappointed by our schedules or the hassle of making arrangements. My girlfriend at the time stayed with me for lockdown, never left, and now we're getting married. I know many people had a tough time, and I know I had a very privileged lockdown experience, but I feel like it is my life's ambition to return to some form of the sweet awesomeness of lockdown. 13. My husband being home. It was so nice. We went on bike rides with our daughter almost daily. 14. Visitor restrictions at the hospital where I work. I'm a nurse and OB. We saw such a huge increase in breastfeeding success rates, maternal well-being, from all the rest, and partners bonding so much more at the births. So much said to moms and partners being able to exclusively bond and rest for the few days after birth. Missed those days already so much. 15. Time with my infant. I had just returned to work after a 10-week unpaid maternity leave. I cried constantly, especially when pumping in the office, because I missed my baby so much. I was so angry and resentful that I had to return to work that early. But then a few weeks later, COVID hit and we started teleworking. I was home for the entire first year of my baby's life, minus those few weeks back. I could breastfeed instead of pumping. I could hold my baby for contact naps during meetings. I could take breaks throughout the day to play with her and cuddle her. I didn't miss any milestones. I would rather I didn't have to work at all. Certainly balancing work and childcare was stressful, but it was better than before where I barely saw her on weekdays. I'm sad my next kid won't get that same time with me. I feel like I got a taste of what everyone else in the world with proper family leave policies have, and it made me even sadder. We don't have that here in the US. 16. I was an essential, so I never experienced a lockdown. I guess you can say I missed the lockdown because the only thing that changed in my life during pandemic was never getting a day off. Nothing was locked down for me. 17. I miss coming home every day to my boyfriend. He was always excited to greet me at the door, talk about my day. It was such a nice welcome home ritual. I work in essential services and he didn't, and having my little house hubby cleaning the house, doing dishes after I cooked, not letting me do extra chores because he wasn't working, leaving cute notes on the lunches I packed was about the damn best thing ever. 18. Nothing. Was a nurse. Got free McDonald's, got free Subway, got free gas at times just for being in scrubs. Roads were empty. Lines in stores were dead. Everything was faster. But I spent 15+ hour shifts watching mothers speak over tablets to their children their final fucking words. I saw the elderly essentially choked to death. I saw the young fall lower than dirt to never recover. My mama bear died. Nurses around me becoming patients or quitting. I became a victim because no maskers flooded our hospitals without US caring for them. Then I failed out and left so many people to die. Nothing will make the nightmares of this fucking disease stop for me. I will die remembering the loss and the worst humanity has to offer. 19. Distance and coughing etiquette. Now everyone is back to old habits where I live. Also, now people with sniffles come to work. I hate it. It just feels inconsiderate and that we have learned nothing. And we had some sad lessons. 20. I miss the camaraderie and the feeling that we're all in this together. People made cards, opened their windows to sing, helped deliver groceries, had socially distant dance parties in their driveways, and did whatever they could to help each other and keep their spirits up. Now we're all back to being vindictive and not caring what happens. 21. Online school consisted of a Google Meet and 3 hours of work. Now it's 7 hours of school plus homework plus extracurricular activities. 22. Roses and Manbeck remix. Say what you want about TikTok, but the songs that got big off of TikTok during lockdown were so good. Quarantine TikTok was a you had to be there moment for sure. 23. Social distancing. You would love Finland. There's a joke that goes, now that the mandatory 6 feet distancing has been lifted, Finns can go back to being 16 feet apart from each other. 24. Honestly, there was less pressure to do shit and I liked it. Society is so poisonous with its go-go-go mentality. You just can't be. You always have to be hustling, doing something, living life. What if you want to just be chill without feeling lazy? Or being made to feel lazy? I like the free flow of just being able to do anything I wanted. We have a massive public park near me, so I went and way more people than I'd ever seen there had lawn chairs spread out all over and were just talking. It was great. 25. I lost my job in the travel industry right when it started but got another temp job soon after, and that job, because of the lockdowns, was entirely remote. I used to sit at my desk in my home office and do my work quietly on my own while listening to NPR. Lol, it was so chill, and I was actually super productive without the distractions of an in-person working environment. I really missed that. My coworkers and I all only met via Zoom Teams meetings, but when restrictions eased up we all got together and went out to eat a few times. It felt like we bonded over the weird situation we were in. The company also did stuff like mailed hot chocolate to everyone's home addresses, so we could do a company hot chocolate social together on Teams. Lol 26. I was still in school at the time, so I liked being able to wake up at 10, eventually eat some breakfast, relax and watch a show, and then start my schoolwork around 1 and finish by 3, maybe even earlier. It was so nice, and I had so much free time to do whatever I'd like. 27. The barriers between tables at restaurants. It was so quiet. Also closing way earlier every day at the grocery store I worked at. I got to spend so much more time with my fiancée. I went from a period of overnights where I barely saw her, then switching to day shift and having the pandemic hit. Got to eat dinner with her every night and see her every day. And you could be way ruder to the customers that deserved it and get away with it.